These are 10 times Lois got exactly what she deserved, starting with the time she got shown up at her job by Meg when the parents and kids switched roles in the episode Trading Places. So Meg and Chris come across Peter's brand new dirt bike. Yeah, he's in a middle-aged dirt bike phase. Roll with it.
Come on, Meg. Just get on.
So the siblings take it for a spin, and Chris immediately feels the need to do a dangerous trick.
Chris, don't! You're gonna wreck Dad's bike!
Too late. I already narrowed my eyes.
I don't know what this jump looked like in his head, but he does not land it. Not even close.
Chris, you idiot! Look at what you did!
So the kids are rightfully chewed out by their parents, but they don't see the big deal.
I mean, you can always buy another one, right?
Buy another one?
You think dirt bikes just grow on trees? There hasn't been a single dirt bike tree in these parts since the winter of '86. At least that's what my land friends tell me. But the kids need to learn just how hard being an adult is.
You kids switch places with your dad and me. For the next week, you'll be the parents and we'll be the kids.
That means they get to discover the wonderful world of taxes, housekeeping, and never being able to stand up without their knees cracking like glow sticks. So they give it a try, with Meg taking the role of the housewife and Chris as the working husband.
Well, I'm off to work at the brewery.
Okay, have a good day, honey.
Looks like all that practice kissing has made it easy to slip into the husband and wife role. Not exactly saying that's a good thing. As it turns out, Chris is pretty good in his new role.
I was kind of skeptical, but you're actually doing good work.
But Lois doubts Meg will be as successful.
Can you imagine the disaster she's gonna walk out here with? She has no idea how hard it is to cook.
You're really setting yourself up here to eat your own words, Lois.
Grilled asparagus, couscous, and for dessert, molten chocolate lava cake.
Forget eating the words, they're about to eat a Michelin star meal. I guess it is as easy as it looks.
What about all the housework?
I did it in like an hour. I don't understand why you're such a freaking martyr all the time.
With Meg's talents and Chris's potential raise at work, it seems like the kids have thoroughly dunked on their parents. Probably not the hardest thing to do, but they should still feel proud.
It seems like the kids are doing pretty well at this grown-up thing, huh? I would suggest that you suck that.
But before anyone can suck anything, Peter and Lois try to put an end to their failed experiment.
Kids, we're calling off the experiment early.
What? Why?
Because you were right.
Hey, at least they're grown up enough to admit it. I guess being a kid with very few responsibilities is actually harder than running a family. This is sure to radicalize kids everywhere. And the next time Lois wants to act all high and mighty about having to clean and buy groceries, she'll remember her daughter did exactly what she does in half the time. Take that, housewife trying her best. But maybe she should have tried harder to talk Peter out of running a narcotics lab in the basement of their new home, causing an influx of substances into Quahog and Farmer Guy. So the Griffins return home one day to find their house burglarized with a ton of their stuff missing.
They also stole my sense of wonder. Nope.
Can you blame them? A sense of wonder can make a killing on the black market.
It's sad to think that Quahog isn't safe for families anymore.
And surely there isn't any correlation between the state of the town and the amount of shenanigans Peter pulls.
And all I ever wanted was to raise our children in a wholesome place, far away from all the crime and problems of the big city.
You say that's what you wanted, but I've seen you actively work against making that happen over the years. Nevertheless, Peter makes the first step in moving away from the big city.
I'm looking for a wholesome place for my family to live, so I'd like to buy your farm.
I impulsively buy a frozen pizza, Peter impulsively buys a farm. We are not the same.
What do you want me to do, start all over?
Lois, you were saying yourself how you want our kids to grow up in a wholesome place.
She did say that. And as we know, one little comment is more than enough to give Peter the green light to do whatever he wants. That was in their wedding vows, actually.
I'm in, Dad.
Me too.
All right, let's do it.
And so the Griffins move themselves out to the countryside with no real idea of how to maintain a farm other than wearing overalls.
I've been running the numbers on this farm and we're in deep trouble. We haven't grown a single crop to sell.
Well, you can't have a crop field because that's how you end up getting crop circles. And we cannot let the aliens win.
Maybe I should go to the local state college and take some agriculture courses.
College? Oh, they're trying not to waste money. And I can say that because I got a degree from a clam-munity college.
I'll learn all I can, and I'll see you guys soon.
What does it say about your family when your dog is the only college prospect? But just as he leaves, a big old tornado comes tearing through, forcing them to take shelter in the cellar.
Wait, I think I found the lights.
I guess we know the last owner of this house is a big nerd, or Bill Nye the Science Guy.
You guys, I think this is a lab.
Ah, so it's looking like the kind of lab that can win you 16 Emmys. Jackpot.
When you really stop and think about it, this lab is our family's best chance to make in a lab.
I mean, he's right. Didn't realize that was an option on the table. So the responsible thing to do would be to call the police and get it out of there, right, Lois?
All right, Peter, we can make one And that's it. And it's only because I don't see any other way out of this.
So it looks like the Griffins are Breaking Bad. Ooh, that'd be a good show name. Gonna write that one down for later. But it's not long until Brian returns.
Hey, Brian's home.
What the hell is going on?
Nothing. Just working on a family project.
Clearly you've never seen an arts and crafts night, Brian. Why else would they have guns, piles of cash, and a dead Meg on the floor?
Our top story, methamphetamine is flooding into Quahog in epidemic amounts.
So they left Quahog because it was too dangerous and have now made it more dangerous. Finally, Lois gets a clue.
This is my own fault for listening to you. I forgot you don't even know your ass from a hole in the ground.
That's a fair mix-up. Both are deep and hold untold horrors beyond human comprehension.
We left Quahog because of the crime problem, but now we've become part of that problem.
Okay, so forget the lab. What about this nice farmhouse? Surely it has a lot of resale. Well, at least there's no evidence. I'd hate to say this all happened because Lois was responsible enough, but it is true that she lives in a house of 4 children, so she has to be the responsible one by default. But sometimes she can't be trusted with actual children, as her jealousy of her father's new child lands her in a gorilla pit in the episode Adoptation. So one of Carter's boats crashes and dumps a bunch of oil into the ocean. Maybe the sea is just going through its emo phase.
Those poor fish.
They're in water. If they can't get clean in water, where can they get clean?
Poor fish? What about the poor clams? See, this is the kind of thinking that takes up most of the world's wealth, ladies and gentlemen. So an emergency board meeting determines that something needs to be done before the company's stock plummets.
Just find a scapegoat to blame it on. The number 2 man in the company.
Honestly, Peter creates enough disasters on his own that an oil spill isn't too far out of left field.
Daddy, you are not blaming this on Peter.
Some other options are a donation and a photo op at an orphanage.
Sure, give those orphans more attention. So Carter goes to the orphanage for a quick pic, but one of the girls there immediately clocks him for what he is.
I bet you're only here because you did something bad and think a photo with an orphan will fix it.
Well, duh!
Yeah, Carter looks like a guy who would hold his breath walking past an orphanage so he doesn't catch the depression. To get her to agree, Carter buys her candy and the two actually seem to bond.
What happened to your parents?
They left me on the orphanage steps as a baby.
That should be funny to me, but for some reason it's not.
It's called having a heart, Carter. Glad you could learn what that is at some point.
Why don't you come live with me?
Really?
Yeah, I could buy you.
I think the word you're looking for is adopt. Rich guys buying kids isn't exactly something you should be promoting.
I just don't get it. I mean, Daddy's never taken an interest in kids.
Yeah, Lois would know that firsthand. Carter wasn't exactly father of the year. I don't think he was ever actually father of the month, week, day, hour, or minute either.
She and Carter are painting each other's nails.
What? He never did that with me.
So Lois has to endure her father doing daddy-daughter things with Tatum that he never did with her.
Mind if I cut in?
Mind if I cut one?
Knowing his age, there's like an 80% chance he just soiled himself. Brian tries to comfort Lois, saying she came out a great woman despite Carter's negligence and shouldn't take his new relationship to heart.
Listen up, everyone in the van. We're taking Tatum to the zoo.
The zoo?
Oh, you mean the one place she always wanted her dad to take her to, but he never did? Hard not to take it to heart when your heart's getting stabbed constantly. While at the zoo, Lois begrudgingly takes Tatum to the restroom, but her disdain makes her negligent and she loses track of the girl.
Tatum? Tatum?
Maybe we should start putting kids on a leash. Who cares if it makes them look like weird, semi-hairless poodles?
Oh, Daddy, I sorta lost Tatum.
You what?
I swear it was an accident.
Maybe it was, but why are you talking about it like you lost a set of keys? Get to looking. After snooping around the park, they finally find Tatum in a less than desired location.
Oh my God! Tatum's in the gorilla pit!
I guess Harambe still has shooters out there. I knew they'd come for revenge one day.
Lois, what the hell are you doing?
I have to, Brian. This is all my fault.
Probably not the smartest idea, but at least you can die a brave woman. Luckily, Peter suggests she tell them about her very interesting dream.
They can't understand me.
Doesn't matter. It's all tone and body language. Trust me, they'll know they don't want to be there.
So she gives it a try and it actually works. Oh wow, your house in your dream was like your house, but slightly different? That's crazy. And with that, Lois manages to rescue Tatum.
I guess I was just jealous of all the attention you were giving Tatum.
Carter says the only reason he did this is because he screwed up with Lois and didn't want to make the same mistake. Hey, it could be worse. It could have been completely forgotten, just like Carol. But Lois would want to forget the time she tricked Peter into attending a couple's therapy resort, which left them both traumatized in Take My Wife. So the wives inform the husbands about some exciting news.
We all just booked a vacation together to a private resort in the Bahamas.
Yeah, but couples only. No chronically single guys like you, Glenn.
I know you said this trip was couples only, but great news! We're now a couple!
I see, so I'm assuming you use black magic to bring this blow-up doll to life? Regardless, the couples make their way to the Bahamas resort, run by a guy with the same voice as every other one-off character.
Hello, couples. My name is Noel, and welcome to Pleasant Surroundings.
And we thought Seth voiced a lot of characters.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your afternoon, but now it's time to get to work.
Yeah, but not the kind of work like trying to stand after 8 margaritas.
This isn't just a vacation, it's a couples counseling retreat.
Oh, what the hell?
Always a great sign for your relationship when you need to be tricked into bonding with your partner. So their first exercise is designed for them to be open and honest with each other.
I feel like you don't want to spend time with me.
Okay, I feel a numbness radiating down my left arm.
That's normal, that means it's working. Next, the couples are given simple questionnaires.
Peter, when is Lois's birthday?
Let's see, when is Hitler's birthday?
April 20th.
You really had that little factoid roaring and ready to go, didn't you, Noel? I'm keeping my eye on this guy. And after crunching the numbers and gauging the answers, Noel finds that none of the couples are actually compatible.
No, that's not a good thing.
Well, say that then, Noel. These guys hardly understand their wives. You think they understand you?
You'll all be paired with your more compatible match. And hopefully, you'll bring some lessons back from that experience into your marriages.
Oh, you're really trying to speedrun ruining as many marriages as you can, aren't you? But surprisingly, the new pairings seem to get along well, though not everyone is as thrilled about that.
I'll pay you $1,000 for one whole handful of your butt. For 2 handfuls, I'll give you my car.
All right, that's enough.
Lois, please, you're getting in the way of this young entrepreneurial woman and the deal of a lifetime. So Lois calls off the whole trip, writing it off as one big mistake.
Is there anything I can do to change it?
Huh, I don't remember seeing a native revolution on the resort itinerary this morning. So the couples flee into the jungle looking for a way out.
I saw a small landing strip, Giggity. It might be our best chance to get off Giggity the island.
Something tells me he just wanted to say that. Who knows if it's actually true? And it looks like Peter is finally starting to regret being paired with a girl who has a hamster wheel for a brain.
You rebel scum. Yeah, you're too young, you don't know.
We just have to accept the fact that one day the younger generation won't get our Star Wars references, and that'll be the day I rest on the cold seabed. So the couples are rounded up right before they get a couple of rounds in them.
Take the couples out 2 by 2 and execute them.
So with all their friends getting taken out, Lois and Peter are finally reminded of their love for one another. Could just be the pre-death emotions running high, though.
I'm so sorry I lied to get you to come here. I should have been honest with you.
Well, it turns out Lois wasn't the only one being a little untruthful.
Congratulations, Griffins! You did it! You've successfully completed the program.
Oh, so the whole thing was fake. Don't think that collective dump they probably all took in their pants was fake, though.
That's what they meant on their website. Staged revolution marital counseling.
Okay, so not only did Lois lie to get Peter there, she didn't even read the website properly. Next time, just talk it out like a normal couple. Or just divorce, because I think you guys are far from being a normal couple. And if you need more proof of that, look no further than the time Lois lied about her job in an adult phone line and eventually tricked Peter into sleeping with her in the episode Call Girl. So after another one of Peter's dumb adventures, the family is left with no money.
We got a wonderful family.
No, we don't. There's Meg and Dummy and Big Head.
Wow, Lois remembered Meg and her name? She must be riding high tonight. But regardless, this means that Lois is gonna need to get a job.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help but overhear you. You have an amazing speaking voice.
So Lois looks to be going into voiceover work, just as long as she stays off my territory. Peter, I'm voicing Sweaty Clam, Peter. Nah, just kidding, it's still me, guys. But when she shows up to her new job, it isn't quite what she'd envisioned.
What am I wearing? Nothing at all, sweetheart.
Man, these telemarketers are really changing up their game plan. For real though, it turns out the role is for an adult phone line.
I can't do this.
It pays $2,000 a week, sweetie.
Sold. She probably would have done it for one. So she gives it a try and immediately gets an awkward pairing.
Hello?
Hi there. Sexy.
Looking forward to the next neighborhood barbecue after this. Turns out most of the neighborhood is using this service, including Mort.
1.
Ooh, that's nice.
2.
Oh my.
And Quagmire.
You think you can fit anything else into your mouth? All right, so now let's start filling up some other places.
Props to them for keeping this out-of-date ancient business thriving. And after a long day of over-the-phone deviancy, the last thing she wants is to think about it at home, much to Peter's disappointment.
Peter, can't you just use Sock Lois tonight?
No! Sock Lois doesn't feel authentic to me anymore.
Well, at least you can use her to drive in the HOV lane on the highway. So with Peter feeling left out because of Lois's mysterious new job, Quagmire has just the cure.
There's this new phone sex chick I've been calling, and she is amazing.
Has everyone in this town just forgotten the internet exists? So Peter decides to give her a regular old middle-of-the-day call. What happened to your job, Peter?
Hello there, handsome. I'm Classy.
Hi, Classy. I'm, Peter.
Not sure how he doesn't recognize that nasally back-of-the-throat voice, but she recognizes him and continues to play along.
There's something about you, Classy. Something special.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Okay, so I guess it isn't technically cheating because all he's doing is showing her his crayon drawings. Now that's how you seduce a woman. So they continue their talks for a few days, but Peter eventually wants more from Classy.
I was thinking maybe we could meet.
But you're married. You've got a wife.
Yeah, but she's been giving me the cold shoulder lately.
A normal person would find this to be the time to come clean, but I guess Lois wants to fly close to the sun. Maybe being mad at your husband is better than trying to reconnect with him, so she agrees to meet.
Hello.
You're beautiful.
That blonde wig must be up there with Clark Kent's glasses as the most simple but effective disguise ever. So Lois wants to seal the deal, but Peter starts having second thoughts.
Why am I doing this? You know, I got the greatest wife in the world.
Well, she can't be that great if you don't even recognize her.
It felt like some force in the universe wanted us together.
That's kinda nice.
So, are you cool with this? Not cool with this? Honestly, you're a bit all over the map, Lois. Well, they get busy anyway, so Lois makes the shocking reveal.
What the hell were you doing phone sex?
I was providing for our family.
You were lying.
You know, I'm not gonna say I side with Peter, but he kinda has a point. I honestly think it would have been cool with her work if he saw the dough she was raking in.
I fell in love with you all over again. And look, now we just had the best sex in years because of it.
Good enough for Lois. She wanted Peter to cheat and she got it. Shady insinuations aside, it looks like their marriage is now stronger than ever. So despite the breaking of trust, the pair seem to have found their new role-playing scenario. But the trust between mother and son would be shattered when Lois decides to kill off a fictional character Chris believes in, leaving him traumatized in boy dog meets girl dog. So it's Valentine's Day and everyone's getting ready for the special night.
Well, I better set out a can of tuna fish and a cigar for Arthur Valentine.
Kinda sounds like he's talking about a classy alley cat. But no, he's actually someone Lois and Peter invented.
I'm afraid it's something we made up that we finally need to deal with.
So when Chris was younger and didn't get any Valentines at school, his parents made something up to make him feel better.
Who's Arthur Valentine?
Only the most magical man ever.
Basically, he's like Santa Claus, but brings Valentine's cards and candy to children. I guess all holiday figures gotta be cool with breaking and entering.
We were just trying to cheer Chris up. I assumed he'd outgrow it in a few years.
Yeah, but little Chris was wearing the same hat as he does now. I don't think he outgrows much. So the next morning, they decide to cut to the chase and let him down gently.
I'm afraid Arthur Valentine isn't real.
What? Not real?
Yeah, I suppose next you'll tell me there's no Tooth Fairy, no Easter Bunny, and no Queen of England either.
He doesn't exist.
No, you're both lying!
So if he won't stop believing in Arthur, there's only one reasonable course of action.
If Chris is this hard to convince, we may just have to kill Arthur Valentine.
Sure, just keep piling onto the list of things Chris will have to talk about in therapy.
Chris, come down here, quick! I see Arthur Valentine outside. I think he's come to say hi.
So Chris sees his idol in the fake flesh, but unfortunately, he's about to go the same way Brian did last time he was on that street.
Arthur! Oh my god, he's dead!
Imagine parents doing this with Santa Claus for their kids. That would be kinda hilarious. Thankfully, Chris seems to be taking the trauma well.
I've never seen him so depressed and catatonic.
Yeah, but instead of taking him to a doctor or something, let's see if he's faking it.
We thought we'd— Awakenings!
Peter, I'm not sure that's
Awakenings!
You're gonna hurt him if
Awakenings!
I know this idea came from watching the 1990 movie, but Robin Williams was much less aggressive with his throws, Peter.
I think we went too far by killing Arthur Valentine. We have to bring him back to life.
Oh boy, some fun holiday necromancy. While Peter gets that set up, Lois keeps Chris company with some soothing stories.
I've never told anyone this, but I killed a jaywalker in 2002.
I don't know if he heard that, but he's definitely got the right expression.
Hey, hey, hey! It's Arthur Valentine, here to accelerate awkwardly into a bush.
Seeing his Lord and Savior brings Chris back to us, but Arthur's return leaves him with some concerns.
I can only mean one thing. He must be a zombie!
What? No!
So his first instinct is to take him out. Eventually, Peter decides to ditch the disguise, and he and Lois come clean.
We're so sorry, Chris. Now do you understand?
There is no Arthur Valentine?
Kids all gotta grow up sometime, but maybe killing their make-believe characters is a bit too harsh of a way to do it. Between you and me, I just think Lois wanted to recapture the thrill of hitting that jaywalker from 2002 again. But Lois would come to regret the thrill of swearing when Stewie drops an F-bomb in church in the episode Stewie's First Word. So the Griffins are attending church, but Stewie only has one thing on his mind.
When do I get my cookie? I just want my cookie so I can go home.
Yeah, about that.
In honor of Lent, today's coffee service will not include Chewy Chips Ahoy.
That may just be the worst thing to ever happen in the history of the church. So Stewie tells the congregation exactly how he feels. Amen?
Hey, Stewie said his first word, and it was a swear.
At least the general public got to hear the milestone too. He wasn't wasting his moment either. He went to the highest echelon of swear words for his debut. Now personally, I would have gone with, but that's just me.
I was feeling so much intense emotion in the moment, and that one word somehow just burst through.
Yeah, but don't get too attached to the idea of everyone understanding him. We've got a status quo to stick to. And after that little fiasco at church, the family starts to get treated like they've got an infectious disease.
What with his profanity and all, I don't think Stewie would be a good influence on the other children.
But even worse than that, it's a reflection of Lois as a parent. Bonnie, have you met your psycho son? The guy drinks dish soap and bathes in lighter fluid. So Lois is convinced Stewie learned the word from someone in the family.
And I will find out who. I'm gonna set a trap and lure the swearer into revealing himself.
Yeah, that might be tough to nail down.
You can go fuck yourself.
Get the out of my house.
Your dad.
Not exactly the cleanest collection of tongues in this house. Though before she can figure out who the culprit is, she gets the cold shoulder from her one true love, the grocery store.
Go away.
You can't do this.
It's like taking a fish out of water. She won't survive long. But it turns out the call might have been coming from inside the house on this one. That's our mother of the year, cursing and sobbing in a store parking lot. So to get her anger under control, Lois decides to attend a rehabilitation resort. A couple $100 well spent, I'm sure.
Now sit down and enjoy some spa music that's mostly rain.
And I guess mix the wine and champagne sitting next to you too, because nothing makes people less angry than alcoholism. So Lois tries to relax with a little yoga and meditation while picking her mantra word.
A special word, a word of release and catharsis.
You mean like...
Honestly, yeah. Sometimes nothing relieves stress like belting out your favorite swear word. You can go ahead and shout yours now. Don't worry, I'll wait.
I love my children, I like my husband, and there are worse things than occasionally using a swear word.
So Lois returns home, content with being the foul-mouthed but loving mother she was born to be. And Stewie wouldn't have it any other way.
Mommy!
Wow.
It's Stewie's second word.
Yeah, but if it wasn't captured for Instagram, did it really happen?
All right. I tried.
Mommy!
But Lois seems to make just as many bad decisions now as she did when she was young, as her bullying of Joyce Kinney in high school leads to Lois's darkest secret coming to light in And I'm Joyce Kinney. So while Lois is out shopping, she runs into the new news anchor, Joyce Kinney.
I am a huge fan, and I just think you are doing a fantastic job.
Considering the last female news anchor in Quahog tried to murder her, I'd say the bar was pretty low for Lois.
I'm on my way back to the station after lunch. I'd be happy to give you a tour.
And after the tour, it seems a budding friendship is starting between them. Slow down, Lois. Pretty soon we'll need a second hand to count all the friends you have.
You must have so many stories.
Well, look, if you want to grab a drink with me later tonight, I'd be happy to tell you some.
Pretty soon the alcohol starts flowing and the lips start loosening.
I'm sure you've done some crazy stuff in your time.
Well?
Oh, what is it?
Spill the tea, girl. What was the street you grew up on? Your mother's maiden name? The name of your first pet? You know, girl stuff.
Well, I have had an abortion.
Yeah, we all know about the band episode. Joyce is looking for something good.
When I was in college, I was in an adult film.
Now we're talking. Apparently nobody knows about it, not even Peter.
I promise I'll take it to the grave, but oh my God, Lois! That's hilarious!
Because if there's one person to trust with sensitive information not meant for a few hundred ears, it's a news reporter. And what do you know, Lois's story makes the nightly news. Hey, become a celebrity any way you can, I say.
Lois Griffin has revealed to this reporter that she appeared in a pornographic movie back in the early 1980s.
Must be a really slow news day if this is what's making primetime. Naturally, Lois is pretty miffed about the whole thing and goes to confront Joyce.
You totally humiliated humiliated me.
Well, then I guess now we're even.
Weird sequence of events for someone you've only known for 2 days, huh? But as it turns out, they did know each other in high school.
When you took the blindfold off, I was standing in front of the entire school with my pants around my ankles and a hot dog in my mouth.
Hey, who hasn't been in that situation before, am I right? Well, it was apparently traumatic enough for Joyce to get her revenge decades later.
Look, Joyce, that was a long time ago, and I'm very sorry for what I did.
Are you actually sorry, or are you just sorry now that you face the consequences? I'd say those are 2 different kinds of sorry. Well, the news of Lois's dark past quickly begins to spread throughout town.
Sinner.
Harlot.
I'm actually sick.
Show some class, guys. Whatever happened to turning the other cheek? Just as long as it wasn't the same kind of cheeks Lois is turning in that video.
Leave this house of God.
But I love the church.
Yeah, but church isn't for forgiveness or absolvement of sins, apparently. Lois is obviously depressed, but Brian says that she should take control of her situation.
If you own the choice that you made, you take away all their power to make you feel bad about yourself.
So what you're saying is, play the movie in church?
The rest of you need to accept the fact that I made a simple mistake. And here it is.
Tripping over a curb is a simple mistake. No one just trips their way into an adult film, but I digress. So Lois screens the whole thing for the congregation, owning her shame and becoming stronger because of it.
I know I'm a man of God, but that is hot.
And just like that, Lois's goodwill is restored, much to the annoyance of Joyce. Lois did deserve a bit of comeuppance for her treatment of Joyce in high school, but no amount of mudslinging can keep this girl down. Maybe because there's some mudslinging in the video? God, I hope not. But Lois would find new secrets to keep, like when she lied about being blind in order to garner fame and attention in the episode LASIK Instinct. So Lois has a little accident while dropping Stewie off at preschool.
Oh my God, please be a dog. Please be a dog.
I'd like to buy a vowel, please, because it's not a dog, it's a Doug. Maybe don't tell Brian how much you wish you hit a dog, though.
I just didn't see the little guy.
Well, maybe you ought to get your eyes examined.
Passive-aggressive comment aside, Doug's father is probably right.
Oh, well, I'm no doctor, but I would say you either need to get glasses or maybe LASIK.
I'd probably go with the former on the off chance it gives me laser eyes. It's next to impossible, but not entirely impossible, as I've convinced myself to believe. So she goes through with surgery, but unfortunately she gets the other result that isn't laser eyes.
Oh my God. I'm blind.
Welp, we've been down this road before. We just need to find a homeless man to graciously donate his eyes.
Don't worry, Lois. I went blind a while back. It was cool.
Cool might be a bit of a stretch. So Lois is struggling to adjust to her new life and take some advice from someone else who struggles. Meg doesn't have any disabilities, but, you know, close enough.
Sometimes I post empowerment videos on YouTube.
Empowerment videos?
Disregarding what it means for you if you need to turn to Meg for empowerment, Lois gives venting on camera a try.
I couldn't see anyone or anything, even the people closest to me who need to be seen the most.
I wouldn't say they're much to look at.
Mom, you won't believe what happened. Your video went viral.
The good kind of viral too, not the infectious disease kind of viral.
You're helping people who feel unseen, Mom. Like me. You're everywhere.
Well, that's all well and good, but how can this be monetized?
Who are these people?
My team. ICU has exploded.
Yeah, but maybe don't go around shouting that. Kinda sounds like you're threatening to bomb a hospital.
Wait, but what does any of this have to do with seeing people for who they really are?
Who cares about that?
Well, Meg does, and she disagrees with franchising a noble cause for money.
I'm the one who's suffering. Now, the least I can do is make some money from it.
Well, suffer no more, you saint. Looks like Lois's good deed has earned her a blessing.
I can see. Oh God, but if anybody finds out, it'll ruin my ICU brand.
Unwilling to let the cash cow die out, Lois takes the ableist approach and pretends to still be blind.
Thank you all for coming today. I can't see you because I'm blind.
Lois, you were just blind yesterday. I think you would know you don't need to do a Ray Charles impression.
That was incredible, Lois. You're a real inspiration.
So big, brave Lois gets invited to go on a popular daytime talk show to talk about her journey. It's too bad she'll never get to see it.
This is gonna take ICU global.
If only she was a bit better at faking it.
Now, which one is better, the blue or the green?
Wait, how do you know what colors they are?
Ignoring that, let's be real, Lois. We all know you're a green girl for life. Meg calls her out on her stolen valor, but is willing to step aside and let Lois sink her own ship.
Helen, is that you? Oh, I'm so blind.
Yeah, this shouldn't take long. To be expected, it takes about a minute for Lois to blow her whole cover.
Oh my God, Reese Witherspoon, I love her.
Okay, to be fair, what's the point in doing a big check if she couldn't see it anyway? So she comes clean about the whole thing and now must face a punishment worse than jail time. Cable TV courtroom shows.
And I sentence you to pay your roommate back for his dog food. Or whatever dumb this one's about.
Daytime TV seems way more like Cleveland Speed than his other show, doesn't it? And going crazy in her mundane life is way more Lois's speed, as her inability to win a coffee shop reward drives her to kidnap and assault a barista in the episode Customer of the Week. So after a stressful morning of being a loving mother, Lois arrives at her favorite coffee shop.
The usual?
You know it. And with the morning I had, better make it a large.
Maybe throw some whiskey in there before she starts tweaking. She's earned it. While there, Lois also notices a Customer of the Week board that she isn't on. And I thought these bored millennial baristas were her friends.
I've never been picked, which is fine. The thing is...
Oh boy.
Look, cut her some slack. She doesn't have anything worthwhile in her life right now. Everybody needs something to unhealthily obsess over, and Lois has found her fixation.
It just feels like it should probably be my time.
Well, maybe this'll be your week.
And if not, well, I'd probably pack up the kids and seek shelter. So the time comes for the winner to be announced.
This week's Customer of the Week is... Lester!
Aw, he deserves it. I was definitely pulling for the guy. But judging by the crying Lois is doing in the bathroom, we may be on track to see a crash out of magnitudes unseen by man. And I, for one, cannot wait.
And I can't think of one reason why they wouldn't pick me.
I can.
Oh, thanks for listening, Stewie.
I had no choice.
So Lois tries to get in good with one of the baristas by offering to buy his painting.
Well, how much do I owe you?
$600.
$600.
Dang, this guy better be the next Jean-Antoine Watteau. That's right, I know art. And Google.
This week's Customer of the Week is... Terry New Customer.
Dang it, that was the last person I wanted to win. This has completely screwed up my pick in the betting pool I have with the other clams.
Can't I have one thing in my life? Is that too much to ask? Well, what is it? Do they hate me?
It is true that if you don't get what you want in your life, it's because everybody hates you. Now, there's a message for the kids.
You know, Mom, if you really want to get noticed, you should save one of their lives.
What?
Yeah, but then you gotta wait around for a life-threatening occurrence. Unless you create one yourself.
I have a peanut allergy.
So Lois decides to plant some planters in the barista's car, though that turns out to be a tad too effective.
Oh, shaving cream!
Oh, but look, she's okay.
Oh, shaving cream.
Peanuts. Not even once. So Lois tries to go to the hospital to cosplay as a caring customer who definitely didn't almost murder someone.
They're going to check the parking lot surveillance tape to see who did.
Surveillance tape?
Unfortunately, this coffee shop security cameras are the highest quality cameras in the world, and they easily discover who the culprit is.
Put the phone down, Kyle H.
Sorry, Kyle, no witnesses. But she just decides to tie him up, though he has one request.
I have a cat. Someone needs to feed him.
Bold of you to try to negotiate while tied to a chair in a shed. But Lois is nice, so she agrees to check in on him.
What the hell? Who are you?
Oh, hello.
This is gonna be a whole day of tying people up, isn't it?
You can't leave us like this, lady.
Yeah, don't say lady. It makes me feel old.
Glad to see you have your priorities in the right order, Lois.
2 roommates were found bound and gagged in their apartment this morning in what they're calling the Cat Sitter Tire Upper.
Not the hardest street name, but maybe the gals in prison can give Lois a better one.
I'm a good person, Joe.
Sometimes good people do bad things, Lois.
Yeah, but I'd say her good to bad ratio is pretty out of balance. All this for a picture on a bulletin board. I can't wait until I'm old enough for that to be the most exciting thing in my life. But if you need a little excitement yourself, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on our latest Family Guy videos. And be sure to leave a like if you'd like to help the sweaty clam grow.